Top 10 lesser-known facts about the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution is the foundation of American government, but despite its prominence, many facts about it remain less known. Here are 10 lesser-known aspects of the U.S. Constitution that reveal its fascinating history and the enduring legacy it holds today. 1. It wasn't immediately accepted. While the U.S. Constitution is often seen as a unified agreement, it wasn't initially embraced by all the states. After it was drafted in 1787, it required ratification by 9 states to become law. Some states, like New York and Virginia, only agreed to ratify it with the understanding that a Bill of Rights would soon be added to protect individual liberties. 2. The original Constitution was only 7 articles. Many people think of the Constitution as the large, well-known document that includes the Bill of Rights and subsequent amendments, but the original document only had 7 articles. These articles focused primarily on the structure of the government, the powers of Congress, and the role of the executive. The Bill of Rights, which contains the first 10 amendments, was added in 1791. 3. It is the shortest national constitution. The U.S. Constitution is the shortest written national constitution in the world. With only about 7,500 words, it's far more concise than the constitutions of many other nations, which often contain detailed provisions on social policies, education, or economic matters. This brevity has allowed for broad interpretation and flexibility over time. 4. It took 4 months to draft. The drafting of the U.S. Constitution took place over the summer of 1787 at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia. The delegates worked in secret for 4 months to hammer out an agreement on how the new government should function, negotiating over issues like states' rights and federal power. The result was a document that balanced competing interests. 5. There were only 39 signers. Although 55 delegates attended the Constitutional Convention, only 39 of them signed the final draft of the Constitution. Some notable absences included Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Patrick Henry, who were either abroad or opposed to the proposed document. The signing ceremony took place on September 17, 1787, a date now celebrated as Constitution Day. 6. It was designed to be flexible. The Constitution's framers intentionally left room for interpretation. For example, the necessary and proper clause, also called the elastic clause, gives Congress the ability to make all laws deemed necessary and proper for executing its powers. This flexibility has allowed the Constitution to evolve and remain relevant as society and technology have changed. 7. The Electoral College was a compromise. The Electoral College, a system that still exists today for selecting the president, was the result of a compromise between large and small states at the Constitutional Convention. Larger states wanted direct popular election of the president, while smaller states wanted the power to elect a president through the state's legislatures. The compromise was the Electoral College, which balances the influence of both. 8. It didn't end slavery immediately. Though the Constitution is often celebrated as a foundational document for liberty, it did not immediately abolish slavery. In fact, the word slavery is never mentioned in the original document, and the practice continued for several decades after its ratification. The Constitution's 3/5 compromise allowed Southern states to count slaves as 3/5 of a person for purposes of representation in Congress, further entrenching the institution of slavery. 9. The Bill of Rights wasn't part of the original document. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, was added after the Constitution was ratified. Many states insisted on these protections for individual liberties, including freedom of speech, religion, and the right to a fair trial. Initially, the framers of the Constitution didn't think these amendments were necessary, as they believed the structure of the government already limited potential abuses of power. 10. It's the oldest written national constitution still in use. The U.S. Constitution is the oldest written national constitution still in operation today. Many other countries have rewritten or significantly revised their constitutions over time. However, the U.S. Constitution has remained largely intact, with only 27 amendments since its inception, making it a lasting symbol of American democracy. These lesser-known facts highlight the complexities and historical context behind the U.S. Constitution, underscoring its adaptability, compromises, and the enduring vision of the framers for a balanced and evolving democracy.